It's been a little over a year now since I showed you guys this original controller, and we've been through a lot. I dropped out of school, tried to start my own company, somehow tricked an entire team of people to work on this thing with me. Thanks, OSnap. We launched a successful Kickstarter, went to CES and China, went through so many different versions. Let's not talk about that one. So many different versions, finally landed on the right one, and then added a bunch of hardware and software features and accessories. And after all of that, somehow today, I'm holding the final production-ready version of Mcon in my hands that we're going to be shipping out to 20,000 of you guys that backed it on Kickstarter. So today, I'm going to unbox it, go through all of the features in detail, and show you the accessories. But also, just the other day, I went back and watched my original video, and the dream that I talked about then was to completely change mobile gaming, this huge industry, by turning your phone into an actual console that's fun, portable, fully capable, and more convenient than anything else out there. And back then, this was outlandish, especially as I was recording the video in my parents' basement. But as we go through this thing today, I want to see and show you guys how many of those features actually showed up in the final production version of Mcon and how well we actually executed it. So yeah, let's get into it. It's actually real, guys. I cannot describe to you how real this project became the moment these in-box units showed up at the office. I don't know why the box had such an impact on me, but only then was I like, oh my God, we're actually mass manufacturing this thing. Anyway, let's open this thing up. And please take a minute to appreciate this box. I cannot describe how much time and effort went into just the box. I think it looks so good. All right, you just take this off and then we open it like this. There it is. Boom. Oh, it looks so good. Let me give you a good shot of this thing. Oh, it's so cool. Let me unbox all the other colors first. Here is the white. Oh, this one might be my favorite. And clear. Oh, never mind. This one's my favorite. Quickly, let me go over the box. So first, you get this MagSafe adapter ring. Basically, this lets you attach literally anything to the Mcon. Then the quick start guide. This was inspired by the manuals you used to get in physical games, the good old days. And this is the boring required stuff. Don't read that. Then you get a cable in the box. This is a USB-C cable, 3.5 feet long. And importantly, it's a data cable. I'll get into that later too. It's also got this really nice silicone cover on it, which makes it like impossible to tangle. It's really nice. All right, enough of the box. Let's get a look at this thing. I'm just now realizing that most of you guys have not seen this thing at all since we showed you the CES model like 10 months ago. So if you haven't kept up with the Kickstarter updates or been in the Discord, this is gonna be a crazy upgrade for you guys. So let me just show you the basics of this thing and do a general overview of Mcon. So the basic idea here is that when it's closed, you can see it's all protected and it just looks like a slab that's phone shaped. And it's small enough to where I just leave it in my left pocket and take it everywhere I go. So all you have to do is take it out of your pocket, MagSafe it to your phone. Then you just press this little button on top. It launches your phone and instantly wakes up and connects. And that's it, then you can game. Oh my gosh. I forgot about this. There's so many, it's so loud. Yeah, anyway, so you got all the controls you would expect on like a normal Xbox controller, actual analog triggers, shoulder buttons, the full joysticks, D-pad, ABXY, function buttons and everything. Oh yeah, and these sticks have L3 and R3 of course. And then when you're done, you just close it, it goes to sleep and put them in your pocket. And there's two other really big features I want to show you here. Not only does it transform from literally just being a phone to a full-on console controller thing, it then transforms even further when you open these guys up. So these grips really change everything if you're going to be gaming for a long time. which you can because the battery life of this thing is about 15 hours, which is crazy for the tiny little batteries we were able to fit in this thing. Also, I might not get into this later, so that is Jeff. You can see his legs open up and release the top plate. So every time you press this button, you're actually pressing Jeff's head. I hope that gives you a good insight to what kind of environment this controller was created in. Let's get back to the grip. So first of all, they completely delete any fear of it being top heavy because of the phone. And when you guys get one, I would really encourage you to try out all kinds of different positions with the grips. They're fully independent from each other and it clicks into place here, but you can literally go anywhere 180 degrees. And depending on what hand size you have, or especially how you're sitting, you can really customize the feel of this thing. So like when I'm sitting with it with the screen down here, I actually prefer them all the way flat out. I also put my ring finger I also put my middle finger right here, and then I wrap my fingers around the grip like this, and this just gives me such a good grip on this thing. But then if I'm playing closer up to my face like this default angle here is perfect for me. I also found if you're in bed or in a couch and you have it slightly above your head, this 90-degree angle is the way to go. Also, the last position is a little silly, but if you put them out like this and have your fingers there, you can literally play upside down. And so that's good for like if you're in bed, like for some reason laying on your back and you want to play Minecraft, like whatever. Anyway, my point is you can literally customize the feel of this thing, which you cannot do with any other controller. Everything else is just fixed and you just have to deal with it. With this thing, you can customize it to how you're sitting. So and that is such a cool feature I've found, and like picking the right position, it makes it so fun to play with. All right, enough of the grips. Let me show you the last big feature here. I honestly cannot believe we were able to fit it in here. Not only does this thing launch your phone and lift it vertically, no matter how heavy it is, but it also puts an angle on your screen, which by the way is the same angle as the DS. I didn't realize that until today. But on top of all that, if you look at this little button right here, which you may have been wondering what it does, well, that's the eject button. And if you hold it down, you can take the top plate off. And then this little piece of the sliding mechanism is also the kickstand. That's cinema. So I don't know, this may seem simple, but this completely changes things for me. This was on the original version of the Mcon, and it was something we originally took out because we wanted it to launch and have an angle. But I am so glad we added it back because I think this takes the console feel of this thing to a completely different level. Because what this allows for is, yeah, if you're at a table, it's a lot more comfortable to just be able to play like this. Oh, I haven't played like this in a while. This is so sick. And obviously this is Bluetooth, so you can just play from a distance. But the coolest thing about this for me is being able to play with other people. So you can just put your phone down, connect 2 controllers to one phone, and y'all can play a multiplayer co-op game like at the lunch table at school. Like I think that is so cool. And I don't want to get into this in this video, but I think this opens up so much for developers to like make a 4-player split screen game like on your phone. I think that is so crazy. Like, yeah, the screen is small, but you could totally play a 4-player split screen like shooter game. Like it would be so awesome. Anyway, enough glazing that feature. Put it back together. You just close this thing down and shove it back into place. Again, that may seem simple, but it is. That may be the hardest challenge we've had to overcome in this whole project. The launching mechanism, yes, but then it coming apart and coming back together. Please appreciate that. All right, next I want to get into something that might seem a little bit weird to even talk about, but I want to talk about the form factor because it's such a unique design that brings so many unique benefits to it that you wouldn't think of. So this is currently the best option you have on the market currently. Basically, it's what everyone else is doing with this telescopic controller design. This one is the GameCert G8. It just has really, really good ergonomics and button feel, but there is so much I just hate about this form factor. First of all, it's really clunky to actually get your phone in there, and then when you do, a lot of the times it's crooked, and when it's in there, it's covering the USB-C port and the speakers, and it doesn't feel very solid. As you can see, it kind of comes apart. It's obviously not very portable. It's about as portable as the Switch, which at that point, just take this with you. But my biggest problem with this by far is that when it is in here, your phone feels locked away because inevitably when you're gaming, you're gonna want to use your phone. right? Like when I'm playing Minecraft, I get a text from my girlfriend, and on this thing, you have to do this. This is crazy. And so texting like this, yeah, your phone looks like this when you try to use it as a phone. Like imagine you get a phone call and you're in public. Yeah, that chopped. Also, all these devices give you such a wide stance, and gaming in public like this, I'm not confident enough to go out in public like that, okay? And it's not like you can easily take your phone out of this thing, because you kind of have to do, it's a little awkward. So when you compare this to Mcon, it's obviously way smaller and meant to fit in your pocket. Attaching it is instant. That's all you have to do. Doesn't matter if you have a case or an Android or whatever. But the whole reason for this part of the video is this right here. When I hold it like this, you can't even tell there's anything on my phone. It's just a phone until I press the button. And so using your phone like normal is just, and you can just use your phone like normal. It's not covering the speakers, USB-C port. If you get a call, you don't look weird. And then you just open it and game. And even open, it's easier to use as your phone. Like if you need to use the keyboard in a game, it's really easy to just move your hands up like that. When you need to use the keyboard on this thing, it's okay, but you have to like, yeah, reach over like this. It's just not quite as easy. And even without closing it, you can hold it like this, pick your game, and that is such a huge benefit to that is the biggest benefit, I think, to this form factor. Oh, another little thing is that to change the volume, you can just reach up and press the volume buttons like this. So yeah, it's a small thing, but just being able to reach up and control the volume like this, again, takes it to just the another level of it feeling like an integrated console other than just your phone. And I think I said this earlier, but it's worth all of it just for the form factor of when it's closed. Like, it's fully protected. Chuck this thing in your backpack. I don't care what you have in there, a million pennies. Just throw it in there and it's not gonna break. Like,
yeah, just go for it.
Like,
yeah, do it. Oh my God! What?
how are you throwing?
Bro.
Oh, no, actually, wait. Hang on a second.
Okay, yeah, I think he's trolling us. Yeah.
Gonna have to game a couple more hours.
Oh!
This thing is freaking durable, especially when it's closed. I have sat on this thing for 4 hours many times on road trips where I literally just left it in my back pocket and I just sat on it the whole time. Yeah, we spent a lot of time making sure this thing doesn't snag on your pocket or accidentally open up in your pocket or anything. And yeah, that kind of leads us right into the question of pocketability. How pocketable is this thing? So I'll be the first to admit, okay, this isn't the smallest piece of tech in the universe. But where we did land on the size of this thing was such an incredible balancing act of ergonomics, capabilities, all these features, and of course the size. I'm really happy with how it ended up because there's literally no compromise. I mean, this thing has nearly full-size sticks, full-on analog triggers, and then the grips and everything. I'd honestly say it's as if not more ergonomic than something like this. And so for literally no compromise, I am genuinely happy with how we balanced it. I'd say we've achieved the same level of pocketability as the DS. It's actually a little bit thinner than the DS is, and it's quite a bit lighter than the DS. It's to the point where I've dedicated my left pocket to this thing, and I am a super minimalist. I've like slimmed down my keys. I have like the thinnest wallet I could get. I literally have no case or screen protector on my phone just to save that little bit of space in my pocket. So for me to go all in and carry this thing with me every day in my left pocket, I think says a lot. I know I'm biased, but it has not changed my life in a bad way to carry this thing in my pocket every day. But if you're not dedicated enough to dedicate an entire pocket to this thing, I think most people will just leave this on their countertop, in their backpack, or on their nightstand. And that day they can decide whether or not they want to bring this with them, you know, depending on if you're like going to a dentist's appointment and you know you're going to be waiting for like 10 minutes. But yeah, let me show you the inventory that let me show you my inventory that I've had every day of the summer. All right, so first of all, this is worst case scenario. I wear these type of gym shorts like every day in the summer. Yeah, my setup this summer has been phone with wallet on it. And then obviously phone goes in the right pocket. And I've actually got this little separation layer within the pocket here. Then the keys go in the same pocket, but in the outer layer of the pocket, okay? And then the left pocket is fully dedicated to Mcon. So here's how it looks. It's not bad, man. It's not bad. It just kind of looks like I have another phone in my pocket, you know? It's not bad. All right, quick change out. So these are just the normal jeans I rock all winter. And with these, obviously, phone in the front pocket, wallet in the left pocket. And I even go as far as to put my AirPods in this pocket, keys in the back pocket, of course, and then Mcon in the back right pocket. And then the cool thing is, someone will be like, yo, did you like, what's in your pocket, bro? And then you get to show them your sick freaking controller. And also because of the tapered shape we have for Mcon, it just slides in so easily. And yeah, I don't know, some people might not like this, but I don't even take it out of my back pocket, especially if I'm sitting in a squishy chair like this. But if I'm sitting in a super solid chair like this thing, it's still not even that bad, because it kind of goes to this part of the pocket and you're really not even like actually sitting on it. All right, anyway, that's Pocketability. Let's go to the next section. Before we get to the part of this video I've been looking forward to talking about, where I show you guys the accessories and kind of talk about this whole thing as an ecosystem, I want to quickly go over the joysticks, the buttons, and all the software features that we have packed into this thing. All right, I want to start with the joysticks. So obviously the sticks we chose are non-drifting. If you don't know, all these other companies are scamming you by putting potentiometer sticks in their consoles and controllers that stop working after like 100 hours of use. So yeah, these are basically Hall effect joysticks, but they're actually better than that. They're TMR, which is basically Hall effect. They don't drift, but they're a lot more power efficient and they're slightly more accurate than Hall effect. And we have really crammed these sticks in here. They barely fit inside. We tried to make them as tall as possible and have as much range of motion as possible. We also spent so much time making sure that it could have all that range of motion and still feel good within the divot that it has to fit into. And the biggest player there is the size and shape of the joystick cap. With this ring shape and having it be quite a bit smaller than other joystick caps really helps make it feel normal, even though it's in this huge recess here. I want to give you a comparison here. So here is the Switch 2 Pro controller. Yeah, the Switch 2 Pro controller has a lot more range of motion, but the actual angle you get out of the stick is pretty similar. I don't know, it's not actually that far off. And then yeah, when you compare it to like a Switch Joy-Con controller, oh, they feel so much better. And the other thing I want to show you about the joysticks is something you wouldn't think would be a problem when making a controller, but has honestly been one of the biggest worries we've had throughout this whole project. And that's just simply the dead zones. For some reason, whenever we've connected any kind of Bluetooth controller, doesn't matter if it's even an Xbox or a PlayStation controller, to an iPhone, it adds like 20% dead zones to the controller. Having anything more than a 5% dead zone sucks when you're playing literally anything. But somehow we figured it out. I give all the credit to Xiaofei, who has been in China for the past 6 or 7 months, I think. The dead zones are legitimate on this thing. So let me just show you. If you just breathe on the controller, yeah, you can see I'm barely moving it. So here's what it looks like in Gamepad Tester. Another thing here, one of my biggest freaking pet peeves about any controller is that sometimes they like snap into the 4 directions. It basically deletes all of this range of motion when they do that. We got none of that. None of that. It's just straight input. Yeah, this is what a controller joystick should look like. Okay, anyway, sorry that got a little nerdy. The joysticks are really good and we put a lot of time and effort and thought into them. Now I want to get into arguably as if not more nerdy thing, the D-pad and the ABXY. So I can't really show you this game, unfortunately, but one of my favorite games of all time is Super Mario Bros. 3. And in that game, it's always really important to me that the D-pad and ABXY are a certain way. Now, D-pads are super divisive. You basically can't get them right. Some people want it one way for fighters, another way for platformers, and another way for shooting games. But I think we've struck a really good balance, and I know I'm biased, but this is the best D-pad I've ever used in my life by a long shot. In fighting games, you really want a good circular motion of the D-pad, and you want it to hit every cardinal direction consistently every time. At least that's my understanding of it. So oh, it sounds so good. As you can see, you can easily go in circles really quickly and it hits every direction very consistently. Okay, the other thing here that's really important for platformers like Super Mario Bros. 3 is that you're able to go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth really quickly without accidentally hitting up and down or a diagonal. Okay, the other test is that you can hold down, wiggle your thumb, and not accidentally hit left and right. When you do actually go to hit a diagonal, you can really tell that you've hit it. It's a very distinct double button click when you go like this. Also, the other thing is that the D-pad and ABXY feel the exact same because they have the same shape and everything. And that's really important to me because in Mario, you have to hold down B to run and then spam click this button to jump or fly with the Tanuki suit. And you do this quite a lot in the game. And so just having them be short travel and super clicky helps you. Another huge thing on top of all these other constraints is that we wanted it to be super, super quiet. Let me compare this to one of the quietest controllers on the market and then a really loud one, the Xbox controller. Let me know how that compares. I honestly think it might be quieter than the Switch Pro controller. So if there's anything we got right on this thing, it's the buttons. I am immensely proud of them. I honestly can't believe how good we did. But when you guys get it, you'll be the judge. Obviously, I'm biased. They're amazing, though. Real quick, I want to touch on the analog triggers here. You may think that because it's so compact here that it might not feel good. We spent a lot of time to make sure that the tension on the triggers was good and that the texture and this shape, this differentiating shape between the shoulder buttons and this all comes together to make the shoulder and triggers feel so nice. These are also Hall effect triggers, as you can see the little magnet in there in the clear one. And I want to show you the range of motion that we get out of these things. So I think it's about, what is it? Yeah, it's about 6 millimeters of travel you get out of these triggers compared to an Xbox controller, which I think is, compared to an Xbox controller, it has about 9 millimeters of travel. So what is that? An extra 3 millimeters you get out of an Xbox controller. So yeah, the range of motion you get out of this thing is really nice. I cannot believe how good they actually feel, even though they have all that range of motion and they're fit into this super tiny spot here. All right, so now for the software. So obviously this thing is Bluetooth, which just makes it so much more seamless when you don't have to connect anything. And then obviously it enables, wireless connection when you go into tabletop mode. And as I mentioned earlier, Bluetooth has some hiccups like the dead zones that I mentioned. And we have fully maxed out Bluetooth. This thing has the highest pulling rate, the lowest latency, the furthest range possible with Bluetooth. We have fully maxed it out with the version of Bluetooth that's out now. Okay, so the range is good enough to where you can leave your phone like basically where the TV is and go all the way to the couch. And the pulling rate, is as high as we could possibly go. But if that's still not good enough for you, you can use the cable that came in the box to plug into the USB-C port on the bottom to anything you want. Your phone, your Android, your PC, your Mac, or anything like that. And then when you have it plugged in, you have insane pulling rate, 0 latency, obviously no range issues other than cord. And that brings me to what you can connect this thing to. So this thing has X input mode, D input mode, DS4 mode, and switch mode. So basically all that means is X input is what you would use on most everything, iPhone, Android. Sometimes DS4 mode is required if you want to access the gyro, which is in here, and we have a really good gyro in there. That's really good for PS Remote Play because for some reason PS Remote Play requires the controller to have a gyro and it never uses the phone's gyro. Also, developers, please start using the gyro in the controller because it enables so much with the tabletop mode and connecting your phone to the TV. You can still have gyro, and gyro is so integral in any FPS shooter for me personally. And then switch input, you can connect to a Switch. The gyro works on Switch 1 and Switch 2. You can connect to your Steam Deck. It'll even wake the Steam Deck up. PC, Mac. The only thing you cannot connect to is an Xbox and PlayStation because they have their own proprietary thing going on. Okay, last thing here that's actually such a nice feature, and that is pairing memory. So this thing has 3 slots available to pair to and remember 3 different devices. Basically, the way this works is that you just double tap the pair button on the back and it will cycle through all 3 options. So that allows you to skip the pairing process every time you want to switch devices. So you only have to pair to your phone once, your Steam Deck once, and your Android phone once, and you can switch between them anytime instantly. I think this is such a slept on feature and will become really important in the future, because imagine the scenario where you and your friend go to lunch every day and you want to play this multiplayer local co-op game on one phone. Well, you can just remember your friend's phone and connect to their phone instantly and then swap right back to your phone when you're done playing with them. All right, it's finally time for this next part of the video where I get to talk about the entire ecosystem we've created with all these accessories. Yeah, let's get into it. All right, so now I want to show you all the accessories and how we've basically created a little ecosystem around this controller, and this completely changed my perspective on what we've made here. When we talk about turning your phone into a console, these accessories completely take the whole consoleization idea to the next level. So let me show you. All right, first of all, we have the super simple pouch. I mean, even this we put way too much thought into. I won't go into it here though. Basically, instead of a loud zipper hard pouch, you know, it's a whole process of unzipping your backpack, taking the pouch out, unzipping the pouch, getting the controller out. No, this fits in your water bottle pouch and you can just quickly draw it out and put it back in. Yeah, super simple, but again, way too much thought went into this. All right, let's get into the important things now. The keychain dock and the full dock. First of all, I do not have the final version of this thing. These are just 3D printed. I'll show a render of it here or a picture. It's in the office. I just don't have it today. Yeah, they won't look like this, don't worry. Let's start with the full dock. So first of all, you can dock your Mcon onto it, charge it. It kind of displays it really nicely and looks good. Fits with the contour of Mcon. But where it all changes is when you take Mcon off and then dock your phone. So this will charge your phone, but more importantly, it has an HDMI out on the back. And now you can just go sit on your couch and play your phone game on the TV. And yeah, this turns your phone into a console, okay? This allows you to like come home from school on the bus where you were playing on your phone with Mcon the whole time. The phone's dead. And so you dock it on this thing, it charges it up, and then you can just sit back on your couch and play the game you were playing out and about on the bus on your big screen. And I just think this completely changes it, because now this is basically our home console. Now, I don't know, maybe I'm blowing it out of the water, but I think this just allows for so much. It completely changes my perspective on this whole phone gaming thing. And it's not perfect, especially on iOS. Apple has not fully optimized for this at all, but there are some workarounds. If you enable touch assist in the settings, it's a weird setting, but I have this shortcut to enable it, and it allows you to basically mouse around iOS. And it's the funnest thing ever to sit back on the couch and like mouse around my phone with the controller. You can text, you can FaceTime. Like I have the dock on the table where when I FaceTime my girlfriend while I'm playing on the TV, she can still see me as I'm FaceTiming her on my phone. And you can just sit back, navigate, pick the game you want to play, open it up, and yeah, play for hours just sitting back on the couch on your phone. I think it's the craziest thing ever. Like, oh, it's so cool. And yeah, it's not a perfect experience. Like Apple has not fully optimized for this yet, but this is just one of those things where we're not gonna not do this just because Apple hasn't enabled a few things in iOS. If we do it now, our hope is that Apple and game developers start thinking of this as a viable thing that people want to do and start optimizing for it. So yeah, this is cool and all. It basically turns your phone into a Switch. Like your phone's basically a Switch at this point. It has tabletop mode. You can dock it onto your TV. You can play with multiple people on one phone, except the thing fits in your pocket. One problem though, this does not fit in your pocket. That's where this guy comes in. I saved this for last because the real dock is cool and it's perfect for having a permanent setup like at work with your work monitor when you can't game on your work PC, and at home on your TV. But this guy takes it to a whole nother level that literally nothing else can do, okay? You don't have this level of flexibility with the Switch, Steam Deck. I don't know of any PC handheld today that has an HDMI out on it. So the keychain dock I keep on my keyring and goes everywhere with me. And all you have to do to connect your phone to a TV is unclip the cap, put your keys back in your pocket, plug this thing into your phone, and then you can go to any TV, monitor, projector, and unplug the HDMI cable that is inevitably plugged into every screen out there, and use that cable to plug into this. And that's it. Now your phone is displaying 4K 60 hertz onto any monitor and TV you can find out in the wild. This, I don't think I'm overhyping this one. This changes everything. You cannot do that with the Switch. The Switch dock is humongous, and it's such a hassle to take anywhere. To have it in your pocket and always be able to plug into the nearest screen is the coolest thing ever. Like, I think the best way to describe it is just to show you. I don't think it's clocking to you guys. So let me dream up some scenarios for you. So yeah, imagine you go to your friend's house after school and they don't have a PlayStation or a Switch or Xbox, but they do have a TV and they probably have an Apple TV plugged into it. So you go over to their TV, tell your friend not to worry about what you're doing, hijack their parents' Apple TV, plug it into your phone, and now you guys can play 4-player multiplayer on one screen from your phone on the TV with whatever controllers you can find around, or if you guys all have an Mcon. It's just such a cool scenario to be like, because there's so many times where you go to a party and someone had to lug their Switch with them and the dock just so you guys can all play like Mario Party or Mario Kart. And instead of like carrying a whole tote with the Switch and the Switch dock, you can be the hero of the party just by bringing your keys with you. Like, it's so cool. And one more scenario. Imagine you're in school. 4 of your friends have an Mcon. When the teacher's not in the room, you can go to the smart board, unplug the teacher's PC, plug the HDMI cable into your phone, and now you guys are playing GoldenEye 4-player on the smart board in your school. Like, that is the coolest thing ever. Like, I don't know, you could go to like a movie theater and like, if you work there, probably hijack the thing. I don't know. I don't want to give you any ideas. Like, it's just so cool. It's the coolest thing ever to be able to like hijack any screen in the world and just plug your phone into it and display onto it. Literally any TV or monitor is going to have some kind of HDMI cable coming out of it. And you just do this, like imagine going on vacation and you can just plug your phone into the TV and play Minecraft on it. And this is all you have to bring with you. Like, that's ridiculous. So I don't know, maybe I'm overhyping it, but I think this is the greatest thing ever. So at the beginning of this video, I said I wanted to tie this all back together by seeing how well we were able to implement all those ideas I had from the original video, where I wanted to completely change the mobile gaming industry by turning your phone into a legitimate console that is portable, fully capable, and more convenient and fun than anything else out there. And after going through all of it here, playing with this thing, with the accessories, and looking at the whole ecosystem as a whole, we freaking blew this out of the water. And so the whole consoleization idea, I think we have executed to an insane level I would have never believed. With the whole dock experience and the tabletop mode and just the feeling that Mcon has in your hands when you're gaming, I would have never expected it to really feel that much like a console, especially from our first version. And then for arguably one of the most important ideas of all of them, the fun aspect, I think I was most surprised by this part. And I really shouldn't have been, because like, it has a pop out mechanism. You can literally launch stuff with it. But then the whole experience of popping out the grips and trying different positions depending on where you're sitting is unexpectedly really fun. And it's just really charming, the whole thing. And then, of course, being able to hijack any display with the Keychain dock and being able to play Minecraft on any screen you can find is such a ridiculously fun experience. And there's just this really specific feeling of fun I've gotten from this that I have not experienced in gaming like that since the Wii or like the 3DS. Now, before we end this video out, I need to get my little section in here about developers. Please, if you're a developer out there and you're at all interested in this ecosystem that we've hopefully enticed you with, if you want to make a game with this in mind, ideally, but even if you just have a game you want to port to iOS or anything, please reach out to us. We would love to bundle Mcons with a game. Like, that would be the coolest thing ever. Like, imagine your game on the box here in the store. Like that, it would look, talk about console. That is a game bundle with a, be so sick. Yeah, we have a lot of ideas for development. A lot of my favorite games are just single developer indie games, like Easy Delivery Co. I love that game. Or a sledding game or a webbing journey. We would be so interested to work with someone to make a game or help them port their game, or even an existing game that's already on the phone. Bundle it like in the box with Mcon would be the coolest thing ever. Okay, sorry, I had to get that thing in about developers. We've made some crazy hardware here. If we could just get some developers on board, it would take it to a whole nother world. Thank you guys so much for watching this long video. Thank you for listening to me yap. This has been such a crazy, I mean, this has been such a crazy time. Like, this has changed my life since I released that first video. Cannot believe how much we've been able to accomplish in the past 10 months with OSnap. Just for perspective, OSnap has like 25 employees and only 5 of them are on the product team. Shafe, Dave, Eric, Dale, James, and I guess me. And so when you look at everything we've achieved, it's honestly unbelievable. And of course, thank you to everyone that backs this thing on Kickstarter. This could have easily been just another vaporware Kickstarter project, but 20,000 of you guys trusted us enough to actually pre-order one 10 months ago. Also, please, if you're a Kickstarter backer, please fill out the survey we sent you to your email. And if you haven't gotten it, or if you're having some other problem, please contact our support email here. Unfortunately, this is just how every Kickstarter works. When you pre-order it, we don't get your address and we have no idea where to ship it to until we send out this survey. Just contact the support email if you have any issues. I think I've been through everything. Go check out Mcon Instagram, OSnap Instagram, and check out the Discord. One of the coolest things that's come from this whole thing is the Discord community we've gotten. It's been so cool. I talk in there all the time. Sometimes I'll call the whole Discord and go over any updates we have. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. And yeah, it has been so cool finally being able to make another video on this channel. So I'll see you guys in the next one soon. And yeah, peace. Hey, thanks for watching. Sorry. The marketing team made an actual movie about Mcon. It's literally like, you can click it right here. Like, please watch it. It's crazy. Click it right here. What are we doing? It's a real life movie, bro. It's a real life movie. It's cinema.